What's up, internet homies? Hi, this is my third time recording this goddamn video, and the last one I tried to do on a webcam, but it was also very, the audio quality was terrible. So, yeah, and I'm gonna try to do this again. My hair is really messed up, just as a general, what the fuck, but, yeah, and I have this terrible, puberty stash. It's pretty gross. I have this puberty goatee, because I don't have my shaving gear on me, like a razor, but whatever. Here goes nothing. Okay. Also, I can't stop smoking these e-cigs, so I might have to take a few puffs out of habit as a general warning. Yeah. Let's answer some questions, man. Okay. So, do you think, Spider Rebel News asked me, do you think the Soviet Union would have been able to win World War II with a decentralized planned economy, or did they need a central planning to build up their heavy industry and military? That is a good question. First of all, that's very hard to come up with a conclusive answer because it's historical, and it's very hard to, come up with the you can't come up with the answers to hypothetical historical questions. But I will say that we have to start from the root of it, which is, of course, to historicize the historical question. So, okay. Now, World War II was a conflict which was, of course, born out of tensions after World War I, which, of course, born out of the industrial competition between Britain and Germany, among other things. Of course, we have the whole list that you learned in history class. But basically, to combat Germany, the Soviet Union needed heavy industry to defeat them. And I'm not very wise on Soviet tactics during World War II. I'm not sure if they had a more guerrilla tactic approach or if they had more pitched battle, but I'm not sure if they necessarily needed central planning to build industry. Of course, it would make it very easy to have central planning in industry, especially with the Soviet economics being utilized. But a decentralized planned economy probably could have worked to an extent, but of course it's very hard to come up with a definite answer. So I'd say no. No and yes. It's a possibility and it's not, and I'm really sorry that's a terrible answer, but this is also a very hard question. Of course, I do think that through decentralization, technology can be utilized. For instance, open source ecology, but also, say, I don't think that open source ecology could have won World War II. But, yeah, I think it could have been possible, to an extent. But, of course, I'm not definite. So, yeah. But, yeah, I think they might have actually needed central planning to do it. I don't know. This is so challenging my beliefs right now, goddamn. But, of course, in our modern era, I don't think that central planning and heavy industry is necessary to win a war, as proven by guerrilla struggles in Vietnam and all over, in Nicaragua and El Salvador. Well, not really El Salvador, but anyway. Neural has thoughts on slide guitar. It's cool, it sounds great. I actually like slide guitar a lot. Blues is great music, and, yeah. It's a cool way to play guitar, of course. I don't play any instruments. I'm trying to learn banjo, but that's a whole nother story. Narl has also asked, why don't you like Camus? Now, I don't really have anything explicitly against Camus. I read The Myth of Sisyphus 3 years ago, which I actually found really helpful because I was going through some pretty rough times. But I don't really have any definite criticisms of Camus at the moment, and I guess if absurdism, if I recall correctly, posits that objective truth is not knowable, then yeah, I actually kind of like that idea. But yeah, Camus is cool, definitely, to an extent. But I'm kind of skeptical after reading the SI on him, and I mean, even if you didn't define as existentialism is like, come on, dude. I mean, Kierkegaard's cool, but like, whatever, man. Okay. Cosmic Typewriter asked, in the spirit of the question video, I'll inquire as to the line of work that allows you to smoke, drink, and read revolutionary theory while on duty. I'm a bookbinder, and this is actually where I work. I'm living in my boss's right now, but I don't really smoke or drink or even read. That'd be impossible while on duty. I have drank on duty. I have smoked before on duty, but it's not like habitual. Of course, it's under the table. It's not like an official industrial job. It's just menial skilled labor where I repair old books. And I get a lot of books that are rejects that don't sell. So yeah, free books, free beer, free weed. Yeah. Okay. Very Insanity asked, the spectacle, good or bad? And of course it's bad. The spectacle totalizes human life under a series of images and detaches reality and everyday life into the form of into an affair of commodities. So yeah, it's definitely pretty bad, and it completely dehumanizes people, and we need to smash that shit. Anonymous asked, for your video, what practice are you in support of? Well, okay, this is actually a very good question. Recently, after reading the SI, I like the idea of Deriv's psychogeography. Detorning images, they expose their true nature, etc. But I don't believe that that's the sole key to revolution, of course. I do believe in the creation of alternative institutions. I do believe in community organizing, the creation of autonomous zones. Agriculture could be useful in revolutionary, or horticulture, for revolutionary potential. I also believe in, etc. Now, I also have this idea of a network of anarchists across the U.S., not necessarily an organization, but a network that communicates and exchanges theories and ideas that composes of multiple different sections, like an artistic section, a creative section, a theoretical section, anything, just a big mix of things across the U.S. in major cities and major areas. They can theorize, they can infiltrate, they can organize, but yet does not necessarily represent the entirety of revolution. That creates spontaneous alternative institutions and workers' councils and agitates, but does not necessarily does not necessarily involve everyone in one giant organization of class-conscious workers. It's gonna smash capitalism. It cannot work that way, because then eventually that organization becomes the dominant form of the revolution. It becomes the dominant superstructure over the revolution, which of course has winded up in bad things. Ideology becomes materialized and your revolution is destroyed. Now, of course, that is not to say that I don't believe in experimentation. What I really advocate is experimentation. I don't think that there is one set method, which is what I find to be a problem with a lot of anarchist and autonomous groups, is that they constantly have these perfect ideas to which their revolution is supposed to compose of. This one method is going to start the workers' revolution. And I think the opposite. I think that we need a diversity of things. Social centers, alternative institutions, dual power. Those are all like the same, but Derives, Détournement, industrial organizing, workers' councils, spontaneous, of course, because when organization precedes spontaneity, then that organization becomes the totality of the spontaneity created, etc. But yeah, I think that we really need to start thinking, we need to start experimenting, we need to start using a bunch of different stuff, we need anarchists all over the nation to start communicating. There's not one way to win a revolution. We need a diversity of tactics. Why do you hate Marl Karks? Fuck you, Marl Karks. Okay, something for the video. What are your opinions on transhumanism? Says Rounded Corners. I think that elements of transhumanism can be very, very, very beneficial for the disabled, trans folk, etc. But I also am kind of skeptical of a lot of transhumanist elements, like the acceleration of technology and the expansion of industry, considering what industry has done. And I think that it's kind of dismissive of the bad potential of technology. I kind of think that technology needs to be not necessarily descaled, but decentralized to a community-based level to which it can be worked with, such as open source ecology is a great example of this. Yeah. And if you could choose to not sleep, of course, I'm not an expert on transhumanism, so don't really take my opinion for that. I don't really know much about it. Of course, I'm no primitivist. Primitivism is even more dismissive than transhumanism, in my opinion, and it can get into all these terrible tendencies, like mass extinction. Are you fucking serious? But anyways, and if you could choose, Round a Corner said, if you could choose to not need to sleep, would you make that choice? Well, personally, as I would say, the reason I like to sleep is because it fulfills my desire or need to sleep. Because when I sleep, I won't have to sleep for a while, and then I can stay up late. I mean, not to mention sleep is very relaxing, so I'd probably make it optional, Of course, one thing that I find very annoying about sleep is that, I'll be in bed and I'll be thinking, and then I'll be like, fuck, I need to go to sleep, and then I have to interrupt my whole perfect train of thought to fucking sleep, and then I'll be like, well, I can just pick it up in the morning, and then, of course, I'll be like, wait, no, I can't pick it up in the morning, because when I do try, I forget what I think about. So yeah, I'd probably just make it an optional thing, just like eating. That would be really fucking convenient. But no. Fuck you, human life, for making this happen to me. I have to sleep. But I also like to sleep, so who knows? Or do I like to sleep? Because I have to sleep. There's a dialectical relationship in everything. Welcome to the Hegel Factor.